you're getting extra traction, reduced arm fatigue, and the longer you ride it, the more obvious that is. And even the balance there as you pop stuff is really in your favour. More aggressive riding.
My name's GuyKesTV and I've been testing bikes and equipment professionally for nearly 25 years. And today I'm up at Stainburn testing Hunt's all-mountain carbon high-impact 29er wheels. Obviously, kind of the biggest standout on these wheels is that they're really affordable. They're actually under 800 quid in the UK for a full carbon wheel set. And because, you know, Hunt, you can get them through certain shops, but mainly they supply direct. In terms of how they're built, you've got the same hubs as the trail wide wheel set. So you've got 32 spokes at the rear for a sort of tighter, stiffer build, and it's a super fast reacting. Free hub on the back there, so you can see there's really minimal movement in the crank before that hub engages and starts driving you forward. I mean, obviously that's fantastic in terms of responsiveness if you're trying to get some pedal strokes in before the next feature, get yourself a bit of launch speed. But it's worth pointing out that if you've got a bike with a lot of pedal growth and a lot of sort of rearward axle swing, that is going to make that more pronounced. You're not going to get that kind of slight, you know, you're not going to get that gap before it engages. So something with more kickback, that's going to be more noticeable with these wheels. But on the trail, when you're punching out corners, when you're trying to get the speed into it, fantastic in terms of that pedal pickup. They're not the lightest wheels. They come in at just under 1900 grams for this 29er pair, and 1100 grams of that is in this back wheel. So that's definitely the hefty part of the equation, because you've got more spokes in there, and obviously it's a rear hub as well, you know, with the free hub and stuff on there. In terms of free hub compatibility, hello Finlay. In terms of free hub compatibility, you've got the full range basically. You've got XD driver like I'm running here with the Eagle on, the Shimano stroke SRAM, traditional sort of splined barrel, and by the time this video's out, they'll be weeks away from getting the new Shimano microspline standard as well. So whatever transmission, whatever free hub you need, Hunt have got you covered. And also you can order mixed pairs as well, so you can go for a full mullet build if you want, with a 27.5 rear and a 29er front. This is 29er front and rear just because I'm running it in the Optic. But I mean, the real news here is kind of this carbon rim. You know, Hunt has spent a long time developing this rim to their own spec. And what you've got is a mixture of two different sort of high modulus fibre blends unidirectionally around the rim, and also each spoke hole is then reinforced with a 3K kind of crossweave patch, so a more sort of crash impact resistant patch around each spoke hole. I mean, there's no physical difference. It's not like a reserve rim where there's a big lump on it where the spoke holes are, but you know, each spoke hole is reinforced, and like I say, 28 at the front and 32 at the rear. So that means this front wheel is significantly lighter at 800 grams, and it's the same weight as something like properly light, like Raceface Next R or Reynolds wheels up front. In terms of overall wheel weight, that 1900 grams, that's actually almost bang on compared to the Crank Brothers synthesis wheels, which ride very, very similarly. They've got that similar sort of forgiving front end and stiffer back end profile, but they do it with different rims. Hunt just do it with different build and different spoke numbers. Obviously, it's about 130 grams heavier than a set of Santa Cruz Reserves with a 27mm internal, and they're about the same weight as Hunt's own trail wide wheels. So if you're looking to lighten up your XC bike, these are not the way to go. But as you'll see from the ride footage, the amount of control and kind of just a super user-friendly high control feel you get through this wheel pairing is absolutely outstanding, especially for the money. And while 28mm is, you know, relatively narrow internally, they've got a really thick sidewall on the rim. So it's very crash resistant, and obviously it's designed as a high impact rim. That's why they gave it the name, and they've tested them very, very thoroughly in terms of that. I've certainly not had any trouble with them, and I've not heard of anyone else having trouble with them yet. And I've dinged a few carbon rims recently, so that's a good sign. And they are fully covered with a lifetime warranty for the original owner, as long as you don't run anything that's got triple crown forks. So don't stick them on your downhill bike, just keep them on your trailer or enduro bike, and they'll just sort you out whatever issues you have with them. And Hunt have a pretty great customer service reputation, to be honest, despite the fact they're so competitively priced. In terms of what tyres they'll work with, I'm running a 2.5 on the front and a 235 on the back. That's kind of the optimum spread. You know, 2.5 is probably as large as you want to go. 2.3 is probably as narrow as you want to go, but both seated really nicely. They feel stable and supported, and you can go a little bit wider with no trouble. And you can actually get tyres pre-fitted by Hunt if you can't be asked to go through all the sort of sealant faff. I mean, they come with valves anyway, they come with spare spokes, but if you really want to, you know, make it easy on yourself, you can get a range of Maxxis or Schwalbe tyres through Hunt, and they'll come pre-fitted, and so you just need to add the rotors, the cassette, whatever you're using, and you are good to go.
So that's how they're made, but obviously the crucial thing is how they feel on the trail, and straight away you can feel that dynamic build quality really shining through. I mean, that 1900 gram wheel weight means they're not the most responsive set of wheels in terms of weight, but the fact they pick up pretty much immediately, those cranks start moving, that's a real bonus in terms of responsiveness out of corners or sections where you've only got a few pedal strokes to get speed in. And also, I need to introduce Finlay up ahead. I mean, obviously you've seen Tilly in a lot of trail videos, she's here as well, but this is the first time the pug thing's been out, so he's been dying to do it for ages. So say hello, Finlay. We'll just give him a really short run out this time, see how he does. So yeah, a relatively weighty wheel, but responsiveness when you do get the power down is really good. And they're a proven hub set. It's the same set of hubs out of the alloy trail wide wheel set, but way they, unsurprisingly, really come alive is when you start looking for traction and control on them. You've got that noticeably solid back end, so it feels really firm. Turning through the back of the bike, shrouding or driving out of these berms, but the front end noticeably more smoother, noticeably kind of more mobile in the way it almost looks for traction. And the whole wheel set is just really quiet, is probably the best way to describe it. So it lands really nicely, it really takes the edge off impacts. So you've got a really forgiving sort of traction increasing front end, then on the back, damn, that dog's squeaking. You've got that really responsive, hard driving rear setup, so it just really makes the bike pop, and you're into your steering from the back wheel, rattling around stuff, you're gonna love this wheel set. Oh, the way it hooked that berm there, even though it's pretty light, and just so quiet, and it feels like you're running less pressure than normal anyway. Yes, that turn there, just got that compliance to keep the front end gripping, even when normally it'd be sliding away. I mean, obviously it's not as precise as a super stiff wheel, but instead you're getting extra traction, reduced arm fatigue, and the longer you ride it, the more obvious that is. And even the balance there as you pop stuff is really in your favour, more aggressive riding.
So overall, really impressive wheel package, regardless of the price. They're right up there with all the top end sort of Crank Brothers Zipp wheels in terms of that enhanced control, which is kind of the new buzzword in carbon wheels. That, you know, sort of traction seeking, impact shrugging front end that just keeps your hands a bit less battered, keeps you on track a bit better on longer trails. But then you've got this really direct feeling power pickup and a really nice drive out of corners from that stiffer back end, but the whole wheel set still feels really damped and controlled and quiet. It's not pinging and clattering all over the place like a stiffer, lighter wheel set would be. So not one for the cross-country crowd, but if you're looking for an absolutely hyper value, once you take in that lifetime warranty as well, superb value wheel set that's going to really increase the sort of controlled, damped and quietened feel of your enduro bike or your trail bike, in a similar way to like a heavier duty tyre setup would, or lower pressure, or even a full suspension overhaul would. If you're looking for that extra edge of control, I really can't recommend these enough. And obviously if you're on a tighter budget, make sure you have a look at the Hunt alloy wheels as well, because they're offering great performance in either the trail wide or the enduro, or several different XC versions as well, for literally half the price of these, so under 400 quid. But for carbon, these are an absolute standout bargain. As usual, just like to thank you guys for watching, thank my Patreon supporters for making videos like this possible, and thank the guys who supplied me with kit for this video. So that's Smith for the helmet and the goggles, 100% for the gloves, Endura for the onesie, and Physic for the winter boots. If you like what I'm doing, please consider subscribing on Patreon, and keep watching for plenty more tests. I've got the Zipp wheels coming up as well. Anyway, I'm rattling on. Thanks for watching. I've been GuyKesTV, this has been GuyKesTV, and I've been riding Hunt's all-mountain carbon high impact 29er wheel set.